Hey YouTube, how you doing today? Going out for another small walkabout, get a good vantage point. But big reason for this video, just say thanks y'all. Appreciate the support, all the conversations over the years. I guess it's kind of a milestone. I usually don't make too big a deal about subscribers and stuff, but hit 2,000 the other day. I think we're at 2008 right now. It could be plus or minus 5 by the time I get this uploaded. Who knows? But there's a chance to take the opportunity just to say thanks and appreciate all the really feedback and conversations over the years. That's been the biggest thing. Yeah, it's been a pretty good ride here on the YouTube. I think it's gotten a lot further and out of control than I ever expected it to. It's been interesting and definitely been appreciating everybody who's watched the videos and commented and just had feedback and helped discuss things, helped hash things out. I guess was one of those. Bring up a lot of different subject matter. Have a lot of different variety of videos, so everything's not for everybody. People easily could have jumped off the train at various points because I wouldn't say I was necessarily consistent, or I don't have a consistent message. Might be one thing, but also consistent content. It's all varied. As I said from the very beginning, it's a jack of all trades channel. I mean, we kind of narrow the focus a little bit, but get off the rails quite a bit with the chats and with different perspectives, and then you go into the prepping and the homesteading and the animals, and it's kind of sporadic. So everybody was willing to hang in there and participate, appreciate it. Then you get a random video like this bouncing around just looking at the out in the desert. But I have enjoyed these. And really, I think a majority of the videos have been like this, just depending on the topic has been, the discussion's been different, but the view's been very similar, I guess would be a way to put it. And I guess that was on purpose in some respects, because I like coming out here and it really helps me clear the mind and think when you talk about things like this. And I know people don't want to look at me necessarily, but the view's pretty nice, and if you get to listen to something that you enjoy or want to provide feedback on, that's even better, to have the discussion and the feedback on that type of stuff. So yeah, I really just did want to acknowledge that fact, and that a lot of you have been along. It's been a long way. I've got some people that have been on here since the beginning, essentially. We've had a few people that passed away during the journey as well. YouTubers that I went and enjoyed and learned from and stuff, and now they're no longer here. It's like, it's hard to believe. We call this is a social network just as much as it is a video platform, or whatever you want to call it. But you go way back to One-Eyed Patriot, who had his battles, and he passed away years ago. Goodness, it had to be 2014 or so. And then Kansas Hillbilly Prepper just a couple years ago, or maybe just over a year ago. But it's been good to meet people like that when you had the chance. People like that you never would have met or conversed with or had any conversation with if it wasn't for things like here on YouTube. And I hope everybody, or I hope at least somebody gets as much out of this channel as I did to those channels. And those people, and not just channels, they're people, they're maybe extensions of their life, they're extensions of their mind, what they think, their thought process, their experiences. So you're really doing a lot of, maybe an alter ego in some respects, but it's also who they really are. I mean, a lot of times you say things on here that you wouldn't say in public just because you're afraid of the effects, the blowback, if you will. Definitely want to avoid that, but it's good to have this outlet as well, and to see that there's other people out there that are just as crazy and messed up as you are. Yeah, we'll run a roll here or something of all the people acknowledging a lot of the participants and supporters and mentors and people that I really enjoyed having here on the YouTube, and look forward to many years as well. I don't know, it's one of those things where any day you could jump off, or any day you could just keep on going, right? Just depends on what happens. Things happen in life. So, like, I know there's been dead times for me on here. Just depending on what was going after, or what the agenda was. But you know, it's hit and miss, and just appreciate everybody hanging in there. So, not to beat a dead horse, but thanks. And let's continue this on. Keep on keeping on. I will try to figure out some type of acknowledgement. I don't know if I want to call it a contest, drawing. I don't know. I'd like to do something to at least throw it out there to people, so that somebody gets some benefit, or to give back to some people in some way, whether it be a drawing contest or not. I'm not sure. That'll be forthcoming, hopefully before we get to 3,000. But we'll get the word out and try to organize that and have something to go with that. And really hope everybody will hang in there till then. We'll see what happens in the world between now and then, short of supposed nuclear war, which everybody's all hyping up now that Kim Jong-un and Trump's summit isn't going. Everybody's all worried. The military's on standby. Yeah, I don't think it's much more than hype, but I don't want to, just don't get off subject of the video, right? Which I've been known to do. So, finishing up my walk, or just getting it in and throwing that out there to people. Wanted to encourage you to hang in there, and post comments below if you want to see certain different content, or go back to something. We'll try to, more than likely, we'll keep the topics pretty varied and pretty unusual or non-scheduled. I'm kind of random like that, so those of you who've been around know that. Hopefully this breeze. So we look forward to most of you hanging around, and appreciate you coming to begin with. And definitely a couple of channels to fully acknowledge. I think I'd have to start with Tactical Tony, the Road Dog, and really I know he's brought a lot of people this way to the channel, and if it wasn't for him and the Bundy Ranches channel, probably wouldn't have half the subscribers, but he's been a big part of it. Mule Team 66 is part of that crew and holding down the Green Dragon Tavern. Can't acknowledge them enough. Rebel Solutions, the other Road Dog, hanging up on this end, but he's been a good inspiration in some respects and keeping me level and grounded in other respects. It's good to have somebody local and on point that you can talk to directly in person. And so those are the most near and dear, I guess you'd say, long-term channels that, if you don't know, check them out. Some of them don't do videos quite as much, and Tony goes by Norte Las Vegas, Norte Tony Las Vegas now, or whatever. Tactical Tony kind of got shut down by the censors, but just to let you know where he's coming from. And more recently, you got Green Bay Wacky has this comedy chat hosting he does, and I've went in there and just conversed and enjoyed his humor, and people come over from that stream and will sub you. Some of them find something they like and hang around. Some of them I just think they're trying to get more subs themselves, but whatever works for them. But I've met a couple of good people off of those streams, and Green Bay's been a big part of that. And Lunatic Dad is a similar situation. All these guys I kind of linked up with back in the fall when I kind of re-energized the channel and started putting out more content. I started doing the vlogs and whatnot. Lunatic Dad and Green Bay Wacky, they're entertaining if nothing else. I mean, YouTube can't be all serious and talking about politics, and I don't think it should be. But we all got to have our niche, right? And we're all good at something. I'm just not good at humor. But go check them out, and a big thanks to them. They shout your channel out when you pop in on the streams and everything like that. And this video is getting very long in the tooth, isn't it? Also, big shout out to Carl the Madman up in Canada. He inspired my vlog routine back in the day and got me in a different mind frame of how to put together videos and content and stuff like that. So that was useful, and I enjoyed his channel, and that was really the best vlog on the net. And he just recently stopped doing vlogs, but he's still doing content, and I would definitely go recommend checking him out, such as it is. And there's lots of other channels that I've talked about on here, but I just want to make a special acknowledgement to them when it comes to the content of the channel and what I've done. I think those have had one of the biggest influences, and lots of channels on here I interact with and converse with and consider friends, and we'll do a rolling screen of them just for appreciation purposes as well. But yeah, thanks for joining YouTube, and this is definitely continuing the journey, not the middle, probably not the middle, definitely not the beginning. We're well past the beginning, and definitely not the end. We're free.